All right, welcome to week 4 of CIT 225, the joins week, one of my favorite weeks. I do love joins. Hopefully you've watched the video I gave you guys at the beginning of the week. If not, please go back and watch it. It's the first announcement. Because I'm just going to talk about like the specific coding around some joins and showing you some code on the first three. I'm leaving the last one for you to figure out because I was leave one that you got to figure out on your own. So, okay, so basically there are 3 main types of joins, but we're only going to talk about 2 of them today. We're going to talk about cross joins. Did I not do the cross join? Did I erase that one? Oh, maybe I did. Hang on a second. Oh, I think I did. Okay, there's cross joins. We're going to talk about. They produce Cartesian joins. Let me, and then we're going to talk about inner joins. Okay, so let's just go jump in to the code and take a look at it. Okay, so here we are. So here is the first one we're talking about, the cross join. Okay, what a cross join does is, so when you do a join in the video, I talked about this. You take 2 tables and compare them against each other, get information out of both of them, one or both of them, and you compare the tables on a specific column in those tables that the tables have in common. Okay. So for example here, but in this case with the cross join, I'm doing select last name, first name, and address from customer cross join address order by last name. I'm not telling the database, the query, what column to join on. I'm just saying join these 2 tables. So it's going to go, hey, what column do these 2 people have? These 2 have in common, and it's address ID. But when I run this, what's going to happen is, and you're going to see what happens here. Okay. Apparently, Raphael Abney lives at every possible address that's in the address table. And then it goes to the next person and so on and so forth. Okay, so Nathaniel Adam and going on live at the same, so that's kind of a problem. That's why it's called a Cartesian join. It just joins everything in order. Everything on the left side is joined to everything on the right side. So you're getting, and notice it returns 1,000 rows because this by default is set to only return the first 1,000 rows, or it would return multiple. You can take a cross, so that's the thing. So we don't really use cross joins. They're a bad idea. They're just there because they used to be a big thing, but you know, lots of things used to be a big thing. We just don't deal with it anymore. So then we can take the cross join and we can add an on statement and say what column to join it on. So here we got the same as before. Select customer, cross join address, order by last name. Here I've got select from customer, cross join address, but I'm going to say I'm saying do it on the address column. And if I run this, now Raphael just lives at this one place, and now we got all these other names here, you know, and it's all matched up now because we said join on this table, on this column. Okay, if we don't put that there, it's going to figure it out for itself, and quite honestly, it's going to make a mess out of it because the SQL engine should not be allowed to make these decisions for themselves because it doesn't make sense. It's like taking a 10-year-old and putting them in a room of candy and saying, you know, don't eat the candy, and eventually the kid's going to eat all the candy, and it's not going to be a good thing. So we want this to be specific. So when we add the on clause to a cross join, it becomes what we refer to as an inner join. An inner join, if you remember the video that I posted earlier this week, is when you get the good old Venn diagram that we all learned in 2nd grade. It's the shaded area where the 2 circles overlap. It's where everything has it in common. So here, I made this a little bit more complicated because it's fun. I've got, select last name, first name, address, and city. From customer, I'm inner joining the address table. I'm joining them on the address ID. And then I'm inner joining the city table, and I'm joining them on the city ID. And I'm ordering it by the last name. Okay. So here we are. Now, this is from one table. This is from another table, and this is from a third table. Okay. Because I gave them this on column, that's what they're joining on. So in our inner joins, again, we're crossing multiple tables on specific columns and asking the database to return the data. Now, you don't have to have the table return anything to be involved in the join. So here's a more complicated one. Okay. I'm selecting the last name from customer, the last name from staff, the title from film title, and then the rental date from rental. Okay. I am going to say I'm entering from customer as A, inner join rental as B, on customer ID equals customer ID. So if we look over here at the rental table, okay, I got customer ID there, customer ID and customer. Then I'm doing a join on staff, where staff ID equals staff ID. So here's my staff ID here. And then I'm doing a join on inventory, where inventory ID equals inventory ID. But then I'm doing a join on the film table to get the film name. And under the inventory table, I've got film ID. So I'm joining the inventory table to the film table on film ID. So what I want to get is last name of the customer, the last name of the staff, the name of the title that they rented, and the date they rented it. And if I run that, I get this. So customer Harder, staff name Hillier, film titles Academy Dinosaur. Apparently Academy Dinosaur is a very popular movie rent. Everyone likes it, adaptation holes. But here we are, okay? So when we're doing joins, we just need to kind of thread the needle to see what table connects to what and how. Now, one quick thing I'm going to do here is I'm not gonna write the query for it, because this is the thing. Right now we're joining these tables on foreign keys. The customer ID column is a foreign key. There's a if I look here, I'm foreign keying the customer table. Okay, so I know that this column, remember foreign keys, the ID in the rental table has to exist in the customer table, or it can't be in the rental table. So all these columns I'm joining on right now, and all these queries I've done so far, are being foreign keyed. Okay, I know they exist on the other side. Without causing too much confusion, you can write joins on columns that are the same, but not foreign keyed. For example, the actor table has a last name column, right? And the customer column, the customer table, has a last name column. So you theoretically could write select A dot last name, comma, B dot first name, from customer as A, inner join actor as B. Get rid of that as, that doesn't work in this one. Actor B on A dot last name equals B dot last name. And I can run this and it'll run. It just won't make any kind of sense, because I'm getting all this stuff here, but there's no Jennifer Davis, no Carl Berry, no Uma Wood. It's just kind of joining on last name, for the fun of it, right? But there's no foreign key there that makes any kind of sense. So we're just getting data that doesn't make a difference. But I'm just showing you that you can do it. It doesn't have to be foreign keyed. But the important thing to remember about inner joins is that it joins on the columns, but only returns. It only returns where it has matching values. Okay. So if there's a value in the customer table that does not appear in the rental table, that value doesn't show up. Okay. Right. So if there's an address in the address table, right, and it's got an ID that doesn't exist anywhere else, it doesn't exist in the customer table, then it doesn't show up. Okay, so it only shows you where the two columns match values. If there's a value in one of the columns that does not match, it doesn't show up. Okay. So there's that, and now what I want to show you, so that's how, so here's joining just one table with a cross join. Here's joining just one, so I just change this to inner join here. And I'm going to get the same results, right? Boom, same results. Okay. Here's an inner join with one table. Here's an inner join with two tables. And here's an inner join with four tables. You can inner join as many tables as you want. It gets messy. It gets tricky in figuring it out, but you can do it. It can be done. Okay, so be careful with it. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you in tonight's video is how to write a query, okay, that uses a subquery in lieu of a table. So here I've got this query that's, I'm selecting the last name of actor and the title. I'm inner joining the actor table to the film actor table. Now, let me take a step back and explain this. Okay, I've been talking to a number of students about this. For those of you who are going to do an ERD and you're going to do the final project in lieu of the final exam, and you're doing a table diagram. So in this case, in this database, we've got a film table. In there are the names, the titles of all the films that we have in inventory. Here I've got the actor table, and this is the name of all the actors who star in those movies. So if I've got two tables, right, and there, so we got three types of joins of tables. We've got one-to-many, one-to-one, and many-to-many. In a one-to-one relationship, one entry in table A exists in table B, and one entry in table B can exist in table A. That's one-to-one. Okay. For example, I've got a film table and a genre table, right? A film only has one genre. So I can have a column in the film table, that genre ID, and link it and foreign key it to a genre table, because there's only ever going to be one going over there. Not multiple, just the one. If I have, say, a film table and an actor table, okay, one film has many actors. One actor can be in many films. You cannot have a many-to-many relationship between two tables in a database. That doesn't work. You can have a one-to-one relationship, which is super easy, and a one-to-many relationship, okay? What I mean by one-to-many is this. I can have one actor in many films, and one film can have many actors. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a table called film actor. And in there, I'm gonna have an actor ID, and I'm gonna have a film ID, okay? So one actor is linked to one film ID. One film ID is linked to one actor. The actor can appear multiple times in the film actor table, but only connected to a single film ID. One film can appear many times in the film actor table, but only ever link back to one film. So I've got a one-to-many relationship from film to film actor, and I've got a one-to-many relationship from actor to film actor, which completely gets rid of the many-to-many issue that we're having between film and actor. Okay, so if you find yourself in a situation designing your tables where you have a many-to-many relationship between the two tables, you fix that situation by creating a table in the middle and having the values of each table go into there, like in film actor. Okay, back to what I was saying here. So I've got this query here. Select last name, title from actor, inner joining film actor on actor ID, inner joining film on film ID. And this returns a set of results. Okay. I don't have to do it this way because I can just do the rating thing here and put the where clause here. But I'm just showing you, I can take just a regular select query, select star from film where rating is PG, and that returns me a specific amount of data, right? But I can use this in lieu of a join, in lieu of a table in a join, and assign it a value, and it will, in fact, return values. Okay, so it just uses this instead. So that means is like, if we want to, if we have data that's not necessarily in a table and we're kind of, massaging it, we can't put it on a table for whatever reason, we can use a subquery and inner join statement and still get the values out, as long as we make sure that there's an alias here set and whatever column we're doing here and here actually exists in what's going on here. Okay. All right. That sums up. So the last one is how to use inner joins to results sets based between one or more columns, more columns in the same table. I'm going to leave this one for you. It's the fun one. It's something you don't usually do, and there's an example in the exercises on how to do this. So I'm going to let you guys figure that one out on your own, and then we can answer questions on this next week, if there are any. Okay, so I heard back from a number of you working on the final project. That's great. Keep going. And the next, for like this week, till about week 6 or 7, you should be working on the ERD and getting that squared away. By week 7, the ERD should be done. And then you can start writing the queries and the CRUD statements to populate and massage the data and present the data. That covers it for this week. I don't have anything else for you guys. If you have any questions, please make sure you put the questions in the comments so I can see them and answer them next week. Please reach out to your TA. Please reach out to me if you have any other questions, and keep up the good work. And I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.